All right, the Atlanta Falcons and the Tampa Bay Bucks. NFL pick for Sunday. The Falcons on the road, a 2.5 point underdog. Buccaneers here favored. The total currently at, well, I better dial it up. I know some of these have moved for sure. And so what you'll see is an update of the move, probably from 36 to 48 hours maybe. In this one, the Bucks are 2.5. The total is down to 37. um, so before we get into it, I mean, Mr. Under, after all, who picked three overs last week. Yeah, kicking ourselves here a little bit on that, but the unders, if you didn't catch it, I mean, it was a massive tidal wave or non-tidal wave here with points. Unders were big time last week in the games. And putting me on the spot now. 3, 12, and 1. 12 unders, I think is what it was. Let me see. I have it here. I just don't. I like to feel like I got it in my brain, and the old brain's getting old, so I got to look it up. But no doubt, just a massive week to the unders last week, and you see this total dropping here to 37, off of an opener of 39. You got, Ritter with all kinds of questions to a certain extent on his, long-term viability as a quarterback, his ability to get the ball downfield, even here, as, sometimes in this spot. But boy, it does certainly feel like this move to the total is kind of right on. I don't know. At 37, you got Tampa Bay, who's had a terrific, better, might be ruffling the paper under the computer there, making that noise again. So, nonetheless, does feel like this total here, like the move feels kind of right to me. But man, I was really hoping to get this, at a price where I could go under. But if that's the move, here are the stats on some of that stuff. Now, it was a 12, 2, 12 and 1. Is that right? Last week. So the average line was 44, and the average combined points in the games was 36.7, which is just slightly under this number. But the unders fell through the roof last week. And, this one, like I said, it's already been steamed to the over under. I know the Sharps can initiate some buyback here at this price. So I don't think Tampa Bay is in a great spot here, and I'll probably buy it up, and I might even try to want to get maybe on Atlanta here. Feels like what I'm going to do. Yeah, Ferner says he's on the Mayfield fade train. Right. So here's what you're dealing with, right? That's always interesting to look at. Remember, we always have to look in the back of our mind. Baker has been, yes. Was he first round draft? Was he first draft choice? Yes. Has he already been to a few teams? Yeah. Things really have not worked out for Baker, and here he's really a free agent starting quarterback here for the Bucks. And okay, it's a good fit. It's a nice story. Whatever you want, Baker Mayfield maybe to have some success. But I'm going to take the points here with Atlanta. I don't think that total is going back up, and still could make my premiums. I just really feel like that's where I have to look with this one. But I'm going to take Atlanta here, take these 2.5 points. I don't think it's going up. I don't think you're going to get the hook there, but you're going to want to buy the hook And you're going to want to buy a little more than that, maybe too. But I think Atlanta, the situation to me favors Atlanta here. Let's see here. All right, yeah. Well, I'm going to roll with the no other stat for me. I don't think in this one as far as you know maybe clarifying my position in the game with them. The Falcons have scored. Um, they're going to be competitive here. They're not going to get held down. I don't think too. Well, they might get held down because I think I'm expecting kind of a low scoring game. But Falcons only lost. They lost at Detroit. They lost 20-6, but that was at Detroit. So Falcons, they are a slow starting team. They're 0-5-1 straight up in the first half, but are still a managed 3-3 record. I like that. They do show some moxie. They've been basically outscored 73-36 in the first half so far this season. And usually games that are closely rated are not the best spot, but Falcons in division 8-4-1 against the spread on the road in their last 12. Tampa Bay defense has been awesome so far. They've allowed 8 touchdowns on 50 drives so far this season. Tampa's gone under in 4 of 5 games. The Falcons have gone under in, I want to say 12 of their last 14 or 11 of their last 13, something to that effect. They are 1-5 to the under so far this season. So I mean, that's what I'm saying with this particular total. It's getting kind of scary, but man, is it going to be like 17-16 or something like that in this game? The Buccaneers have won 6 of the last 7 in this series. These are familiar opponents here, don't forget. And it has gone over in 6 of the last 8 meetings in this series. So I'm just reserving the total at this point. I'm taking Tampa. I'm taking Atlanta. Atlanta. Get it? Make sure we get it right. Plus a couple of points here for sure. Close game. I imagine close game. I want 2.5. I want 3. I want 3.5. Whatever.
Final.
The Las Vegas Raiders are going to be on the road to take on the Chicago Bears, and we got to check the status. I mean, we don't know the status of Jimmy Garoppolo, who, Jimmy's a little injury prone, but I think it has to affect that he's, did he ever really gain any football? It looks like, right, he's a model out there, right, posing as a quarterback. So, got to check the status. But, the Raiders are the road favorite here still as a 3-point favorite. So maybe that indicates that he could be the quarterback. But also don't forget who's going to be the quarterback for the Bears. And we saw how that went. So here's the thing, right? With the Bears and Baggett, Division III quarter, whatever he was, record-setting quarterback. I get all that. Is from the area. Poor guy comes in first play, trying to escape from the pocket, gets blindsided. Like you really did bring in this guy. This guy was your backup, and you totally brought this guy in first play. Ball gets knocked away, run in for a touchdown by the opponent. I mean, that just looks bad for the friend. Like, this is where you went here. Not that maybe this guy's going to be the next. Who knows? Maybe he was a record-setting quarterback in college in that division. So this would be his first NFL start. Fields has a dislocated thumb, so. You saw him holding. He had a towel over it. They didn't even identify that necessarily. But if that rookie's in, I don't know. I don't think it's I don't think it's a good situation. Not against Max Crosby. The Raiders so far have gone 1-5 to the under this season, but like I said, Garoppolo did not play here, and Hoyer came in, and Hoyer's 16-24 as a starter in his career. The last team he started for was Chicago, ironically enough, 7 years ago. So that's how long Hoyer has been around. Now, the Raiders have lost 6 straight games against the spread as a road favorite, dating back to just last or 2 years. 2 years. They haven't been a road favorite that frequently, but um, so far, the AFC West has been a big flop. They're 6-11 against the spread against non-division opponents. For the Bears, they've been allowing 31 points per game. So far this season, Chicago's lost 5 of their 6 games. They're 14-23-4 against the spread in their last 41 games off of a loss. They've been going over because of the poor defense, pretty much. 5 of their 6 games have gone over. The NFC North hasn't been very good outside of the division with a 6-10 record thus far. Bears games definitely have been trending over. And let's take a look here in this one. I want to see, is it down to 3 at all? It is. I can fairly update it to -3. I think in this one, because I'm gonna take. Look, I don't know. I'm just gonna take the Raiders on the show. I'll lay 3 points because that's what we do here on the channel. But probably the money line. This one just I don't want to be scared, but really, if Fields isn't able to play and they go with that, now he salvaged something out of it, a few moments in there, but it just feels like now I don't know the Raiders. Remember, they also had O'Connell in there play a game, but Hoyer was in there last week. He went 6 of 10 for 102 yards in the action last week. So I would think it'd be Hoyer if it's not Jimmy G. And Jimmy G looked pained, certainly, and back injuries are going to be lingering and all that. But we'll see. This one has the big question marks on it, no doubt, and that total continues to drop. Probably should update that. And then we'll move on. But 37.5 currently here, maybe a 38, but no doubt this total has dropped as well. But again, Bears, poor defense. I like the spot for the offenses, actually. And if the quarterbacks are in there, the total will go back up. So you could make a decision now or just try to get a jump or try to feel like, read the reports on these quarterbacks. All right. More quarterback injuries here as we don't really know what we're going to do about the Cleveland Browns and Deshaun Watson. Now, PJ Walker did I don't know what he did. He did the job, I guess. They won the game. They beat the 49ers. The defense beat the 49ers, but all you needed Walker to do was somehow get him over the top. And he had 2 interceptions in the game, but threw for 192 yards. The Browns, so far this season on the road, they lost at Pittsburgh, remember, 26-22 as a 2.5-point favorite. You see the total just totally dropping in this one, and man, that's kind of the way that I feel like this game probably will end up going is going to be to the under. Probably be the free play though. I don't know if I can get there necessarily with any of the side with either side. Total here opened as high as 42.5. It's now down to 39. Cleveland's gone under in 4 of their 5 games. Indy has been going over for sure thus far. The Browns in their wins, their defense has been awesome. They've given up 3 points twice. They gave up 17 points once. Like I said, they gave up 28 to the Steelers. We know that. Or 26 to the Steelers. They gave up 28 points, remember, in that other loss. Cleveland's 11-18-2 against the spread their last 31 games with spread of 3 points or lower. So in closely rated games, they have not necessarily performed well. And opponents, though, against this Cleveland defense, they've converted just 15 of 65 third down chances. Now, for the Colts, you're going to have Gardner Minshew in there again this week. And, well, Minshew, basically about a 35% win percentage in his career. But, hey, he won one already this year. But Indianapolis has already lost 2 of 3 games at home. We got some bad news on Richardson. No need to belabor that in a one-game preview here of this game, but get it worked on. He made the decision quickly. That's good. And I think Richardson will be fine. You know what? Like we say, put that quarterback on the bench, let him observe things. Richardson looks like a great candidate to sit out the season, learn a lot, and come back and be even better than he looked. Because there was that. Hopefully, he doesn't have that injury tag, that injury-prone tag that I put on players. Colts always pretty good, coming off a loss. 41-29 against the spread in their last 60 games, off of a loss. The Colts here probably, I would think, would be live. Just got to see what's up with the quarterback situation with Walker, even with Minshew. But I'll just take the under here and take it under 39. Might be getting the premium here. Well, how are the Detroit Lions an underdog to anybody? The Detroit Lions are the greatest team since, I don't know. They're getting talked up so big time right now. Look, this is great. I hope it's all real. I hope the Lions, have a strong season, a strong finish. Everything about this team right now. They've won and covered 4 straight. They've won 3 road games here. I think they are at 2.5, but I see a lot of 3s out there. In fact, probably should just move it to 3 in this one for the Ravens. So who's betting on the Ravens? Who would bet against these Lions with a Ravens team that I don't know with Lamar in there? Hey, this is a great matchup. The Ravens are 4-2. They're live for anything. We know that. But look at that total, man. 44 in a world where totals have been, going out of style. I don't know what are they doing. Total overs are going out of style, I guess. Baltimore is 1-5 to the under so far this season. 5 of their 6 games have gone under. Detroit, they're 11-6 against the spread now on the road under Campbell, and Campbell's been the moneymaker. 28-11 against the spread with Coach Campbell. Detroit's converted 20 of 43 on third down. And the Lions have turned the ball over just once in their last 3 games. The Ravens have allowed just 5 touchdowns on 69 drives this season. That's what's making this game so intriguing. And when it comes to games with a close spread, there's nobody better than the Baltimore Ravens. Over the last 16 games, Baltimore has a spread record of 14-2 when laying 3 points or less. There's no chance this game's going even higher. I was surprised that it went to 3. And I don't think it will. I don't think it will. Now, the Ravens are 5-11 against the spread in their last 16 games as a home favorite, but a lot of times they're laying more than 3 points in that role, obviously. The Ravens are also 8-13 against their spread in the last 21 games coming off of a loss. So a little bit conflicting there, but 14-2 in closely rated games. I know a lot of those are division games because that's what happens, in this division. The AFC North has looked good so far, 8-5, 8-5-1. against the spread, while the NFC North just 6-10 against the spread outside of the division. Under Campbell, Lions 11-3 against the number off of a win, but I'm taking the Ravens here. The party's over. No, party's not over. The Lions are still great. Um, this is a tough assignment here against the Ravens for the Lions. Wow, Thomas. They might. I don't know. But two great teams. Again, this is the featured game on this is a featured game on the early slate, if not the entire day slate. Lions and Ravens. Who'd have thunk it? Here come the Bills into town as a near double-digit favorite against the lowly Patriots. Poor Patriots. They've been outscored in their last three games by a combined score of 93-20, and they've been outscored 62-6 in the first half. How are they ever going to turn this around against the Buffalo Bills? Who, ever since we said Josh Allen was going downhill and was never going to recover ever again. Since then, well, what can you say? He's kind of turned it around, and so have the Buffalo Bills. But man, they're going to be laying 9.5 points here against a New England team that knows what they have to do. Why can't the New England Patriots just change quarterback? They don't have anybody. I was saying they signed somebody else. It's a mess. It sucks, but Mac Jones, he's not like 33% as he's 17-21 with the Patriots. Okay. Patriots have gone under in 5 of their 6 games so far this season, and their team total has gone under in each and every game. Meanwhile, the Bills' opponent's team total has gone 1-4-1 to the under. Buffalo, last 2 games, have struggled to get started here with just 1 touchdown in the first half on 11 drives. So I think you probably can look to a first half under in this one. The Bills, in their wins, and they're a big favorite here, they've allowed in those 4 wins so far this season an average of 12 points. The Bills have converted 37 of 76 third down chances this season. And they've been dominant in the second half, outscoring opponents 82-26. The Bills are 21-14 in their last 35 games against the spread, coming off of a road victory, or coming off of a victory, 60%. So 3 of the last 4 games for the Bills have stayed under as well. They're on the road here in New England. I'll take New England. I mean, I'm not one of those guys just still hanging on to the dynasty or anything. I just think that with common opponents, division foe at home, I get all that. It's an utter disaster. Maybe the Bills go out and win 34-0. I don't know, but I don't see the NFL that way. Just when you think, especially the Bills, just when you think the world is conquered, they give it away. They might not lose this game or anything like that. But NFL division game home, I'm sorry. I have no other. I can't. Other than okay. I'm just making this. Mac Jones will play better this game, for once, right? It's not like Jones is out of some rookie. You guys played like 30, 35, or 40 games in the NFL so far. I don't think he's getting a lot of help, quite frankly. The one thing the Patriots never had are like specialists that are, over the top, right? Brady always made every wide receiver he had better, pretty much, except for maybe Moss, and he's still, way Brady. I mean, yes, was Moss one of the best at catching the deep ball? Probably, but Did Brady get it to him? That type of thing. That doesn't happen, right? But over the years, a mishmash of running backs, right? You never knew who the main guy was anymore, and even to today, right? Stevenson, he's falling all over the place, running sideways. So, but I'm taking the Patriots. This is a division game. I'm getting 9.5 points. Total rivals here, as far as division games, they're all rivals in a certain extent. But these guys have had big games, big series, and even the Patriots can still look at it. Look, last two games, Patriots have been outgained 1,067 to 9 to or 1,029 to 668. Not good. But I'm taking them. A division game at home, getting points. You want to NFL, you want to be all get it right, technical. You got if the Bills are the team, they're the team. So I don't know. In my experience, home teams getting massive points, especially when they're really in the doldrums against a team that's crushing. Because what it is and why you handicap spots, right? Is trying to determine when is the let up point, when is I don't know if there's a turning point in the Patriots season, but there are spots. This has to be the Patriots spot after these awful, awful, dismal performances that really have made them look like one of the worst teams in the league. Have people basically sending Belichick on his way out because he never was any good anyways because it was all Tom. I'm on the Patriots. Free play right here on the show. The Commanders are on the road here in a division game against the Giants as a road favorite. And do we have some issues here with Daniel Jones coming? Yeah, of course we do. But I said last week I want Ty God in there. I want. Do I want him long term over there? Maybe I don't. Maybe I do. Maybe I do. But it seemed like Tyrod's, career a little bit was over to a certain extent. Everybody's kind of hyping on the Sam Howell train a little bit. Look, if Daniel Jones was in, might actually be a favorite here. I don't know. And not that, it might be a pick 'em, I guess. I'm not saying Daniel Jones is worth 2.5 points, and I don't know. Trying to find a solution here with Tyrod. He was 24 of 36 for 200 yards last week, and they still, lost the game 14-9. It was painful to watch. It wasn't a great game. The Giants were 10 of 19 on third down, though. That was encouraging because they were just 26 of 73 on third down in their first 5 games. So Tyrod did something right. He was hitting the guys there a little bit. They've lost their last 4, a couple of them in blowouts, no doubt. But the last 2 losses have been by 5 points each. The 2 before that were by 18 and 21 points. The Giants just 9 and 20 against the spread. Last 29 games as a home underdog. That's a pretty pretty long sample size, but something to note. And the last 4 games, the Giants have been outscored in the second half, 51-15, and the Giants have just 1 touchdown and 12 3-and-outs in their last 39 drives. That's the last 4 games. And they're doing terrible in the division with a 2-5 spread record thus far. I've got Washington to win this game, and I've got Washington to cover. I think they get the win here. They had, 3 drives. They had the 74. No, it was short touchdown drives. They took advantage. Here's the other thing. Washington 3-0 against the spread on the road thus far. 35, 31, and 24 points on the road. They're not a road favorite very often, but maybe it's worthy here. Maybe they are. Last 4 weeks, they've struggled to get out of the gate. They've been outscored 63-37 in the first half, and uh, Howell's kind of, you know, let them back. But their offense is key, certainly. And well, so is their defense. Here's the interesting thing: the Giants aren't going to score many points, right? Do you think that the Giants will score? The total right there indicates that they're going to. The final score of this game, you got to figure 21-17 or so. It looks like the final score according to that line. And when the Commanders lose, they've been getting rocked in the scoring department in those games. They've played good offenses, and they're not doing that here. In fact, the two wins they held the other team pretty good. Giants have been out averaging just 265 and a half yards per game, and they lost those last two games. I'm always reciting turnovers. People say turnovers are random. I like to keep track of these things. From what I see at the end of the year, the teams with the big positive turnovers are the teams that kind of had the good seasons. And maybe turnovers are random, but they seem to lead to success. They're hard to predict. That's the problem. But the Giants have had big time success. But +5 in turnovers, and they're still lost the last two games. Plus with a +5. So that's bad. You can't convert turnovers. So I'm going to take the Washington Commanders on the road to win this game and win it handily against the struggling Giants in this one. Even though I know Giants, home dog, just talked about it, but they're not getting a bushel full of points. And I think these Giants teams, when I thought it was poignant. We'll let you go. It's been 2.5 hours, man. I keep yawning. I've yawned like 10 times. I got to do some other work. Got to put in my premiums on this awesome hockey card. I keep seeing the moves. I love it. I love this hockey card. Okay. But when I heard they reported Dayball told the sideline reporter last week on Monday Night Football that he had too much going on in his mind to even react to. Now, I don't think I want all these sideline reporters to do a little bit better. They're all great. I mean, some of these are in the Hall of Fame, but please just be a little bit better on some of the questioning. You only get one shot, right? At one time, they asked the head coach. Don't ask a head coach about a player injury. I think that's a waste of the question. You get one or two questions, and maybe they want to tell the head coach as soon as possible. But remember, we had already gotten the update. Trying to remember what game that was, but we had gotten the update. The player was done and in the locker room, reported by. It was I think it was a Nance Romo game, so it had to be one of those teams. Maybe the AFC team was on the road, but then she asked a question to the coach, and he didn't even know. He said, I don't even have a clue. Anyways, just to get over on this one though a little bit here with the Commander. I hope Daniel Jones is in there. Quite frankly, I'm going to take the Commanders in this one. I'm not a big Sam Howell. I'm not saying that he's like some people are starting to turn the corner and say, you know what, maybe he is an NFL starter. Oh, he is 4-3, and all you can be is over 500, really.